I really almost clicked stop streaming. Oh, oops. Ooh, that would have been funny as hell. Holy shit. Okay. I think I've got it all set up. All right, cool. Let's move that over here. Keep that there. All right. And let's move before we get that AFK timer, that sweet, sweet AFK timer. Okay. As you can see, I am now a bunny boy. I think I did a pretty good job with the bunny boy, though. I honestly, like, if I had him be forcefully like choose another character, I think I did a pretty okay job. So let's see. Oops. Want to do this. Let's do this, and then I just gotta click. So I mean, yeah, I think I did a pretty good job. I went with like a theme of like the yellow and black. One of the big themes for Endwalker, or I mean for every expansion, Yoshida and his team make it very apparent that there is a thematic color that goes with every expansion. I think the ones that I picked up were Stormblood being red, and then Shadowbringers being I think it was platinum. I think it was. I don't think I ever confirmed it. And then this one being yellow. And I will get into that a little bit later, but I'm pretty sure it was yellow. They hinted at a lot of yellow. And so I was just like, you know what? When I started this game, and I know Pi, you'll remember, when my Lalafell was just all yellow. So I'm excited to go back to having like a bunch of yellow on my wardrobe and stuff like that. So yeah. So I went with the yellow, and then just to represent Shadowbringers, like darkness part of it, I went with the dark. And so I did contrasting. There's the yellow tattoo with the yellow eye on this side, and then the you can kind of see it like the dark stars, and then the dark eye. And then, you know, of course, the hair is black and yellow as well. And then my Paladin armor for this makes it even better. So let's go here. Got the glasses. Yeah, I still feel like that's cool. They have colors. Yeah. No, it's something that's like kind of a hidden secret that not a lot of people will know about right off the bat. But the community kind of has picked up on it as time has gone on, and they started giving us a lot of yellow paint. They started giving us a lot of characters with yellow eyes. They made one of the main plots of the expansion this time around joy and the color being yellow. It's you know, it just kind of became like a yeah, I'm pretty sure that they're trying to hint at yellow. But yeah, I this one I really like. I really like this this outfit. I almost feel like on my Lalafell it fit a little bit better because like I'm a little hunched over like this. Kind of a little awkward. But my Reaper gear at least looks pretty okay. I'm gonna make my Reaper gear once I get it finished up. I'm gonna make it yellow, well, golden almost. Probably go with the brass and like a rusted golden. So yeah, let's go out here. But yeah, basically you've just been leveling up. I'm trying to get my mentor back, my battle mentor back, which let me just go check the the Hall of Novice so I can I'll see what I need to do. So let's go to, and for anybody wondering, welcome back to the streams. I will be streaming more often. I honestly been playing this. I wanted to play it by myself, experience it by myself. I went into multiple streams, and I'm like telling you, multiple streams, and I've seen people spoiling, trying to like hint at stuff or spoil stuff or like want to say something because they've finished, but that person hasn't, and it's been so shitty. It's been like so shitty. Oh shit, sorry, probably a few dropped frames there. I don't know what my internet situation is. I just kind of went live, and I don't want to reset my internet because then I'm going to be in queue all night. So if it gets bad, just let me know, and then I'll figure it out. But I hope it doesn't. I hope it at least stays stable enough to watch. But again, I will kind of adjust as we need. Where was I going? I was Hall of Novice. But yeah, no, like that was my big thing. It's like I wanted to get through it by myself, not really worrying about what other people had to say or, hold on. Not really worrying about what other people had to say or what other people wanted to showcase for themselves. Because, like I said, it's been pretty bad in other people's streams. I think I've found it hard to enjoy because people will be like, "Oh, did you get to this part yet?" And I'm just like, "No, they clearly haven't. If you paid any attention to the story, they haven't got there." And it's been really frustrating to see like people have to be like, "No, I don't want any help. No, I have not gotten there. Why are we talking about this?" And like they're getting visibly frustrated because they're getting spoiled on something, not necessarily spoiled, but like they're getting led into believing something that they probably didn't even consider. Which has been really hard to kind of witness for a lot of people. Okay. I do have to do the role quest. Okay, so that's fine. So I'm gonna have to do the role quest as well for healer and DPS, which is okay. I do not mind that. But yeah. So from this point on, probably gonna be a little bit of spoilers. Just kind of talking about my experience with the expansion and what my overall thoughts while we wait for Q. I'm gonna try to finish up getting oh no, I get helping, but at least ask. Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna try to finish up my Reaper today, and then probably get through the role quest. Role quest I won't spoil. I don't ever watch them, so don't expect much from that. But yeah, let's let me go find a little bench while we wait. Oh, see, this is the color I want my Reaper to Reaper armor to have right here. This brass gold. Such a cool color. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So sorry. I just never thought I'd see anybody else using that color. That's actually really cool. And they were a Reaper too. But yeah, I'm gonna slice this up, and this is why I kind of wanted to do it this way. Let me see if I can find a bench real quick. I know there's a lot out here, so maybe not even a bench, just kind of like a little place to sit. I love that it snows out this way. I don't think we get a lot of like visible snow in a warmer place. Oh, putting away. Here we go. Well, you see a lot of people questing here, so I will try to. All right. So let's talk. Main story of Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers was absolutely phenomenal. Just overall blanket statement, absolutely phenomenal. Now, I'm not talking from like I like this game. I'm talking from a holistic experience of the expansion. I would say, and this is something I've actually already said on Twitter and stuff. This game went from being like in my top 5 to my absolute number 1 favorite game of all time in all existence that I've ever played. And the main reasoning behind that is because how much attention to detail and how many messages they've tried to tell over the years. And I'll start there. It's like when I started playing Final Fantasy XIV, I honestly initially didn't like it, right? I thought it was pretty tacky. I thought the GCD was a little wonky, a little long. I didn't really have a lot of friends to play with, and so I kind of went into it blind, and I was like, I don't think this is going to be the game for me. So I quit. And when I quit, I just was like, I think I'll come back to it eventually one day, maybe, but not right now. And I stopped playing for a while, and then my friends, they ended up saying, hey, you want to give this a try? It's free, and, let's see what we can do. And I had already paid, so like I was just like, I don't want to start a new account. So you guys go ahead and you guys do the... Sorry, I'm just making sure I don't hit a AFK timer. You guys go ahead and you guys do the free trial, and I'll do the paid trial, and then at least we can get in a party, right? Because that was a way around the whole you can't get in a party situation. So I was just like, yeah, we'll do it that way. And we played pretty much every day. And I tell you, like, it was so fun. I ended up having a lot more fun. I ended up understanding the story a lot more. Starting from a realm reborn, the story of just, the story of just an adventurer that's been brought, that's come to this land and wants to become a hero and wants to become a hero, wants to like do better in the world and try to help out where he can or she can. And so that's what I try to treat it as. It's like, what would I do in this scenario? Like, would I be going to help these people? Would I be doing this? And I really try to frame it in the mindset of like, I was jumping in from an isekai standpoint. And I told everybody this, like, I'm going to try it from an isekai. I never logged out. I'm part of the problem. I never logged out. I'd wake up, I'd jump into the game, I'd go do my little quests, I'd do some side quests from here, from time to time. When my friends logged in, we would get together in a party, we'd go challenge pretty much any and everything that we could together. Ran dungeons, switch roles. It was fun. It was a great system. It just like, I really enjoyed the story from the get-go. I was just like, there's a lot here. It feels like it's pretty daunting, but as a story perspective, you're getting told basically from ground roots. You are someone that loves to adventure. You are someone that has a lot of hope, and you instill a lot of hope in other people. And it just teaches you about friendships and building bonds. And that's kind of how I felt as I started playing with my friends. I started building those bonds. I started being more open, connecting with them in a way that I never thought I could with people online. And that kind of spread as we reached level 50 and we did the final little dungeons, Praetorium, Castrum, that we now look back on and we're just like, Ooh. Praetorium, gotta queue it up. Castrum, gotta queue it up. Sorry, just gonna. Praetorium, Castrum, gotta queue them up. That's now kind of become the meme. It's like, Jesus Christ. Every day, just try to get your level in. Well, back then, it was epic. It's just like the second we had Cape Westwind, which was kind of like, oh, this was our first 8-person trial. But then you get an 8-person dungeon and you're just like, oh my God, what's going on? There's so many people here. You start freaking out. You're just like, oh my God, I don't want to mess up. And it was so enjoyable. And I just remember going through that, and then all of us kind of like looking at each other and be like, bro, we got to keep playing this game. Every single one of them bought the game that day. We moved into Heaven's Ward. Heaven's Ward was an incredible expansion. Characters, this is really the first time your character's really experiencing loss. Your character's experiencing the hardships that come with Heaven's Ward. Going outside, and I say this because it's really a life lesson of going outside your comfort zone, going somewhere different and experiencing life through different eyes, experiencing life through the eyes of people that may never see you the same way that you see them. And Heaven's Ward kind of felt like a lot of task. It felt like a lot of build up to help an army, to help combat at the time dragons, right? Wow, dragons, fantasy. You're reaching the peak of fantasy. And I remember playing Ninja, and we get to a battle where we're crossing a bridge, and it's a trial. We get to this battle, and there's a dragon coming across the bridge into Heaven's Ward, or into Ishgard, and it's you and your allies' job to stop this dragon at all costs. And I remember it was the first time I did Limit Break 3, and I was on my Ninja, and I geeked out. I wish I had the clip still. I was streaming when it happened. I geeked out because it was the first time ever I had done a Limit Break 3, because I was just like, oh, what's this? And as a ninja, you summon a bunch of swords, and you're doing ninjutsu, and you just launch these things at this giant dragon. And I just was like squealing. I was just like, bro, this is so insane. This game has so much detail and so much like individuality in between each of the characters. And it just was like, it was so amazing. And, again, dealing with loss in Heaven's Ward, Moonbright, Forshant. No, it wasn't a Forshant. It wasn't a Forshant. It was a for him. It was something for maybe I might be getting mixed up with the twins' dad, which is for Chanel. So I might be getting mixed up. But that was such a like an amazing experience coming out of Heaven's Ward, moving into Stormblood. And Stormblood's when my friends kind of drifted off. We kind of had some differences, and so we kind of split up, and I just kind of started doing this solo. And it was more, honestly, it felt really like in theme with Stormblood. Stormblood being an expansion where you really set yourself aside from everybody else. You've now become a hero, the hero of Ishgard, the hero of Gridania, Limsa. You fought countless primals. You've become the true warrior of light. You've dealt with loss. You've dealt with your friends now coming back when Heaven's Ward, because you remember at the end of A Realm Reborn, you lose everybody. You stole Papalimo, Minfilia, like everybody was gone, and you were on your own walking into Ishgard. And it kind of felt like that. You got everybody back, but there was still work to be done. Moving into the Far East, and it just felt like such a really like solo heavy experience, right? And probably let's get back to that after this dungeon. But yeah, man, so the story has been incredible from point A all the way to point B. Mm-hmm. I guess I could talk about it here. But yeah, Stormblood being more of a like a solo thing, right? You know, I really felt them pulling towards like individuality of Warrior of Light. You're really stepping out. You're stepping out and helping other people. You're now facing someone that you consider a life rival with Xenos, the introduction of Xenos. You're facing threats completely unknown to you, and actually having to struggle. So like it was like one of those like expansions that was like I wanted to take the time to like get better, and I think that's when I started really like learning how to tank and stuff like that. And that was definitely an experience, learning how to tank and try something new, because I was so used to playing DPS for so long. And we are definitely pulling slow for this one. We got double Reaper. We should definitely pull more than this. But yeah, no. So like once we get to have to Stormblood, you know, we're kind of introduced to a bunch of factions led by Lise, I believe at the time. High-in, a couple other characters in there too that are pretty important. And it's such a different experience. You're waging wars right now. You know, you're really involved in wars and efforts to basically call out the darkness. And I thought it was like a really good independent lesson. Still not my favorite expansion overall. And when I got to no, it's not Stormblood, Shadowbringers. Whew, yeah, that's what you call a fully holistic experience. I had never experienced something so thought through until I experienced Shadowbringers. From overall characters to character development to meeting new challenges that make you question what you're doing and what truly is the Warrior of Light. Are you a force of good, or are you actually a force of evil in people's eyes? And that was like definitely one of the things that I really wanted to like delve deeper into like when I started thinking about like, well, how is this going to tie to Endwalker? And I will definitely talk about that probably after this dungeon, so I can really focus on my thoughts for that, because I want to give Endwalker the credit it deserves. But this dungeon is going so slow, and like my brain is like it's almost melting. So let me focus in and try to get this done as quickly as possible, because I don't know why we're going so slow, especially with Double Reaper. You max out Reaper, huh? Nope. Come on. Oops. Ow. I gotta reapply dots. Not dots, but debuff. Oh, it's not dead. It literally has like a sliver of health. I thought we were gonna kill it. All right, slow pulls it is. This is a tank, like any expansion you do, like you gotta try to pull at least wall to wall. If your healer can't keep up with it after the first like couple pulls, then you can consider pulling one at a time. But this is miserable.
I warn you, stay away.
Especially since we got double Reaper, like we have so much AoE. This is like nothing. I feel like I'm missing a skill. So 80. No, it's at 88. Okay, it's at 88. So far, Reaper's felt pretty good too. Reaper, like, there's a few oddities with Reaper that I'm like, kind of wish this was better. I feel like some of the AoE rotations feel a little bit lackluster, but they do evenly split how you do AoE and how you do main rotation. Like, if anything, like the fact that it is so smooth overall, in terms of like skills into skills, kind of negates what, you know, the feeling of like, oh, this is going to be a little bit mundane. Because then it comes down to like making sure you can execute the rotation every single time. And it gives a little bit of reprieve too. You know, when you when your avatar, your familiar, takes over, it gives you a little bit of reprieve on your rotation. You're not having to worry about positionals or anything like that. So that part of it's really nice. The one part that I don't like is actually this skill right here, Harvest Moon. So far, it just feels like activating it feels a little stupid. Like, I wonder if they could have tied it actually into a skill, and I feel like that would be better. And then also activating Shadow of Death feels really, really stupid. Other than like activating it for AoE right now. Yeah, like Harvest Moon is, I mean, that was it. Oh shit. Oops. Maybe I should have stood in front for that one. Kind of getting fucked on my positionals. Oh, yikes. Healer down. I went to go stack and it was already too late. It's okay though, we should be able to live. Alright, let's go. Hashtag just Reaper things. That for the intimidation. It'll kill everybody around us. Yep. Oh, poor healer. Got fucked up. Ooh.
I cannot let you take me, Sion. Not yet.
Damn it. Mind you, I think I've only been playing Reaper for 2 days. But I think I've got the hang of it for the most part. Just kind of tighten up a few of my rotations, decision making, because I think that's a big part of it of Reaper so far is just like making sure you're making the right decision for like the right move to use it when to properly pop Arcane, because it's a 3% damage buff overall. It's not much, but in the grand scheme of things, like 3% damage on all of your skills, that's pretty significant. Like here, I'd probably do this because I know I'm gonna get my form after I do these two. So now I'm maximizing Reaper damage. And yeah, and then I would just solo single target there. So it's just like small things that you gotta like kind of think about. We've got to get better at it though, because it's like it is a lot to think about. Come on. Where's your gear at? We have the Cryptwalker stuff?
I must hear their answers before they're expunged from existence.
A little unnecessary here. But can we get into combat where I can still use it? Still got a little bit of time. Is anybody in a cutscene? So I'm gonna have to restart with Reaper form. I'm gonna have a delayed damage burst. Probably about 20 seconds into the fight.
I will have the tranquility I require.
I was looking at my phone.
Rust and gale, gather to me.
Why am I looking at my... Okay. So what I'm gonna do here,
Unleash your power.
just build up, and then
Wins.
4.
It's my flow.
All right, here we go.
Stars on high. Fall is rain.
Jesus. Yeah, fucked up. Oh, please interject. Nope. Okay.
Streams of ether. Surge is one.
Tanks out there, please use interject on red casting bars that are that slow moving. Oh, I should have waited till I had something to use there.
Wins. Here's my flow.
Again, random damage boosts for what? I think I'm just gonna die here. Where's our healer? Oh, our healer's dead.
Stars on high. Fall is rain.
Congrats on being able to log in. I've been logged in all day. During certain work meetings, I was just queuing and playing because I was not gonna have that shit happen to me like it did last night. I think I paid the penalty last night for my my shenanigans today. To be honest, last night I was playing. I had logged in before I got off work, and I was working, and I had to walk away to eat something. I lost out on my queue, so I got logged out. Which is where I not lost out on my queue, but I got logged out. That was fine. I was gone longer than 30 minutes, so that's fair. And then I queued back up, and then I got a 2002 error at sub 1,000, and then that kicked me all the way back to 4,500. And then I went through that again, lasted for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and then I got logged in, and then I DX errored. After someone said, "Wouldn't it be a shame if you fucking DX errored?" Yeah, it would be. And I got pissed. And so I just, when I saw the queue was up to like 5,000 something, I just said, fuck it, I'll log in later. So I logged in this morning to finish my dailies before the reset, and then went to work. logged on around lunchtime and have been on since I only had like meetings, and during those meetings all I had to do was be a participant. Strategic. Yo, what the? I want it. 99, baby. Give me it. Give me it. Give me my little wormy. Give me my little wormy minion. What is this? Caduceus? Let's go, baby. Let me get the little worm. Let me pop that shit right in front of them. Little bitches. And I'm out of here. Later. And I got 3 combinations. Yo, they got robbed. They got robbed. Hold on. Oh my gosh. I feel like I have so much inventory space, but so little at the same time. What's this look like? Like trash? Okay. Okay. I want to equip this. Ooh, that's kind of nice. Okay, where were we in our story? About okay, right. We're talking about Shadowbringers. Shadowbringers was again one of those expansions where you're just like, it makes you love this game, right? To be honest, I was like, when I first got into Shadowbringers, I was very, I was trying to connect the dots of like where Shadowbringers fit into all of it, into everything, and there were a few things that were good callbacks, but a lot of the times Shadowbringers felt like a new way of game, and so like I was still having troubles connecting with things and trying to like piece together why we were there and what kind of led the story to this point. I mean, it does explain it, but it didn't feel like a strong enough reason. But it was also, again, the separating of your hero from the party that has come to rely on you. Gotta see how to expand it like this. Here, character config. And then I believe it's here, bags, and then open all, and then expanded. Cardiac, I hope you've completed the story. I'm gonna talk about the story so far, and I will include Endwalker stuff here in a second. What's up, Fluffy? How are you doing? Same to you, Fluffy. If you want to experience the story by yourself, feel free to leave. But if you have experienced it and you want to kind of hear my takes on it, feel free to stay. I'm about to get into the end of Shadowbringers, heading into Endwalker portion of it. So I'm just going to give everybody kind of like a little bit of time to make their decision. No hard feelings. This is the only day I'm going to really be doing this. So rest assured, I will not be talking about a lot of Endwalker spoilers outside of today. I just wanted to get my thoughts out. Yeah, I beat it, which you're still in Stormblood. Well, yeah, by the time you get to Endwalker, everything will be spoiled for you anyway, I'll be honest. But I'll talk about it, and if you want to stay, you can stay. If not, I totally understand. I just talked about Stormblood and how it felt kind of like a journey for your hero to kind of go off and experience what is actually happening in the world, because we're so removed on the map. Actually, it's actually really cool on the map now. And I know you probably haven't had the chance to log in. on the map now, you can actually really see what is all the way out here. We were all the way in the far east, but we were so far removed from that because we were only on this continent for the longest time. We didn't know what was going on over here, and it felt like your hero's chance to the Warrior of Light to really get connected with Kugane and the parties that be over there. A triple party system over there, and kind of get involved with politics. Oh my God, T, please stop messaging me right now. Triple party system over there, which was really cool, really exciting. And it gave the Warrior of Light a chance to really stand out and become a hero. Not only just a hero in the sense of like, oh, you've beat primals, you've done this, you've actually now beat warlords essentially. So that was really cool. That was a really cool experience going through Stormblood. And I'm being light with stuff because I don't want to spoil the whole thing, but that's just kind of like the general synopsis of it. Shadowbringers also being something that was pretty incredible. Again, now removing ourselves from Eorzea as we know it, such a small and confined space. You know, the furthest we've been is now far east, and now we're going to a whole nother plane of existence, essentially, right? A whole nother shard, if you will. And we're going there and we're getting experiences from the other side, the other perspective, our complete opposite. We're praised as the Warrior of Light, where we go around, we bring light, but now we're in a land where light is in too far of abundance. And it's our job to bring darkness, and it just kind of teaches you the perfect balance. And this is why I like Shadowbringers. It teaches you the balance between light and dark. And in our realm, Eidolon is considered the bastion of light, and Zodiark is considered the bastion of darkness. So we are now coming into perspective, now that I've played Endwalker, that there needed to be a perfect balance between the two in order to maintain structure. And so that's what Shadowbringers was trying to teach you, is like, while one having an abundance of one is great, having the mind to be able to make those hard decisions and be not only a warrior of light but also a warrior of darkness is also something that we need to take into account. So Shadowbringers goes on. It teaches you really about hardships. It teaches you about loss, and it teaches you about it really teaches you about more than just loss, but the understanding that you cannot solve the problems of everything. No matter how hard you try, you are only one warrior of light, and it teaches you about needing others, because from Heavensward to Stormblood, you're treated as an individual that is above status, right? And so you've removed yourself from the notion of like, oh, well, you know, I need my party, I need the other scions. Now you're transitioning into having to rely on the other scions a little bit more in order to prove your strength, and prove that together you guys are a stronger entity, and that not every enemy that you face has such dark malice that it needs to be stamped out by light. And that was really that. In order to understand the dark, you had to embrace the dark. That was really the lesson, right? And now we enter in Endwalker, and one of the things that really has like stood out to me just from the get-go, when you enter Endwalker, you're quickly met with okay, we know something is coming. We're aware of a presence outside of our own that is actively trying to end our existence. We need to understand, we need to grasp other rather than just reacting irrationally like we've done in the past with Shadowbringers, with Stormblood, with Heavensward. Even they even in ARR, they acted really irrationally and just threw the Warrior of Light at a problem. But now it's a problem that they don't have an answer to, and so coming to Old Charlian to start the adventure, giving you the option, and this was one of the really cool things that I liked about the start of Shadowbringers, or no, sorry, the start of Endwalker. It gave you the option to choose which path you wanted to start with. There was a path that led down to research and understanding, and then there was a path that went for immediate action. And my path was getting the research done first. I think that was something that kind of let me kind of understand what else was going on here, right? I think that there was a lot of missing pieces that we missed once we first started learning about the final days. And the fact that they split the Scions in such a way, where you have Thancred and Urianger going over to Thavnir, it just kind of fit, and Graha, Y'shtola, the twins, and Kryl staying here and kind of, looking through books and trying to find answers here. And I think it was just such a smart way to start it. It's like, hey, you have two options, but they all lead to the same result. Next stop, we got to go to Thavnir. And, once we've all come together, we've got to go to Thavnir, and we've got an immediate threat. A threat that we don't really know too much about or how to stop them, but we've seen it now with the end of Shadowbringers. We've seen these towers that hold immense power and have the power to summon lunar primals and cause absolute chaos and distraught. And so it's like our job is like, we know what we need to do. We've researched what we can. Let's go hop into immediate action. And immediately, you're met with a problem, is the tempering and how to solve it. And you meet some really great characters. The elephant lady, I can't remember her name right off the bat. But I really hope they bring her back overall. She's such a fantastic character, well written. And really spilled knowledge of like, this is the way we're going to fight the tempering, is, the use of these trinkets and finding out that those trinkets work. But as we reach the tower, Fandaniel, the mastermind of it all, finding a way to once again thwart us. He's now done it twice. And as the Warrior of Light, the only other person that's really like outshone you was Emmett Selk, right? You don't really have a lot of people that are constantly stopping you in your tracks. And Fandaniel was so fantastically written to the point where you don't even know who or what this character is or what his objective is. But you know that he is there to be a thorn in your side every step of the way. He is there to just distract you. And once he gives his big reveal, and I'm not going to go into details about the reveal of who he truly is. Once he does his big reveal and connects us to who he is, how we would have met him before, it just kind of like falls into place of just this this being of almost infinite knowledge, and to a testament of his vast knowledge, his intellect of being able to discern situations and outmaneuver us at every step of the way just seems so effortless. You know, as we go on now, we're approaching Garlemald. You know, we've destroyed this tower, but we've heard rumors that there's towers everywhere else, and you know, the immediate thought is, well, we need to really go help Garlemald. It has the primary hub of power, and if we choose to go to all these other towers and help them individually, we may not be able to stop what's coming. And so the Scions make a decision. The big play is to go to Garlemald, and you know who is waiting. Xenos knows exactly what your play will be. Fandaniel prepares his trickery, again, not knowing what he's after. Still, to this point, you know, you've encountered him 4 times now. To this point, you still don't know what he wants. You just know he is an Ascian, and he is very intelligent. When we're in Garlemald, we experience things that are just kind of, you know, Garlemald has been an enemy of Eorzea for a very long time. You know, with Praetorium Castrum, we literally slaughtered thousands of them. You know, we still do for experience, you know. Hey, we got to get the XP any way we can, right? We end up slaughtering thousands of them, and they remember, you know, that they're a kingdom ruined by their own, and also ruined by, you know, the invasion of us, and the thought behind it, you know, they don't really use magic the way we do, or they don't really use Aether the way we do. Aether to them should only be used through machines. It should never be channeled through humans, and that's why you know, that's why they feel they're superior, and you know, we feel we're superior. But we've found people like Sid, people like Nero, Lucia, that have and Maximilian, I think, have all come over from Garlemald, you know, to kind of help bridge that gap and say, you know, we are not all so different. We just think in different ways, but we shouldn't be at odds. And, you know, going to Garlemald and attempting to rebuild that relationship in the story it just felt really like a good move. Even looking back, I'm like, yeah, I would go to Garlemald too. You can now help the people that are there that are now under rule of Xenos, and you've seen the destruction that being under rule of Xenos causes, and you know, people are dying by the thousands. You know, help where we can, and that help that we were trying to offer was not accepted, and I think that was kind of one of the big character developments for the twins. Is just people would rather lose their lives than to be helped by Eorzeans, to be basically indebted to us. And so, what in the bot? What are you doing? This person is literally botting. This person is running all the way from peer to peer. God damn it, dude. People kill me. But yeah, like, to be completely indebted to the Eorzeans, they'd rather die than have to have us help them. You know, and it just felt really heavy, right? You know, it's just like you come to this land and you're really just trying to offer any amount of help at, you know, on their own terms, but it doesn't seem like that, because again, you're coming from a point of like conquerors. You've thwarted us millions of times, and now you come to our land to try to help us when we're at dire straits. That doesn't make sense. And so like it was a very heavy section of the game, and going from that into seeing how truly even the top brass of this Garlemald resistance army is like, they were treated so poorly that they can't trust anyone. They can't even be around us. They would rather have us as a prisoner than an ally, or they would rather be on their own. And so like seeing that, and then seeing the efforts made by the dispatch party to try to rebuild that relationship, and over time, give meet with some of the characters, some of the soldiers from the Garlemald Resistance Army, and Euless is one of them, and he's such a great character, one that's gone through struggle, and one that's gone through a lot of hardships and his losses and his gripes about the Eorzean army, but he still understands the significance of us trying our best to provide help with whatever we could. And as time goes on, Fandaniel again scheming, just as we finally get to celebrate the coming together of two armies finally united under one cause, is to try to get their kingdom back from Xenos. Xenos and Fandaniel pull the biggest prank of them all, and I'd never felt so powerless as my character as when that moment happens. It's just the understanding of how powerful these two actually are, and that they're just playing mere games to entertain themselves. And it again, I'm not going to spoil that part because I feel like that's such a pivotal part of the game. But it was so well written, from the absolute panic when the reveal comes, when the camera pans and you see the chair and you're sitting there like, there's no way. I sat back. I remember sitting in my chair and I sat back. I said, this no, I was heated. And then the struggle to get back, and moving on from there. I believe once we left Garlemald, I believe that's when we made preparations to go to the moon. I think we went back to Thavnir for a little bit. Let me see. Hold on. It was it Thavnir? We went back to Thavnir, or no? We came back to old Charlian, Charlian, and then from there, there was a part that I'm missing. We did a little. We had a little bit of downtime. We went back to Thavnir. No. I'm mistaken. From Garlemald, we chased Xenos, and we tried to, like, our efforts were to let's stop Xenos here and now. We found out Xenos had basically created another enormous primal that fed off the stress and strife of Garlemald and its people. And once we defeated that, we hit a point where Xenos and Fandaniel finally reveal one of their plots is to, which was a huge shock to me. Well, it wasn't a shock. The preface for this is I went and did the Coils of Bahamut the night before the launch, right? And they basically explained that through the Coils of Bahamut, the Dalmund moon that used to exist was created in order to house Bahamut, another Elder Primal. So now it goes to stand, we're going to the moon. We're all like, the whole expansion lead up was, oh, the moon, the moon, the moon. Which holds to stand. Why can't the moon be another vessel for another elder primal? And lo and behold, and Daniel and Xenos finally reveal their plan, basically releasing the locks of Zodiark, the eldest of the primals, and only barely being stopped by Hydaelyn via Vessel of Kryl, only being stopped just in time for us to be able to head up to the moon and try to thwart them some more. And once we're on the moon, we meet another ancient that I believe we've had contact with, or at least seen, called the Watcher. Basically, Hydaelyn constructed this moon to be not only a prison, but to house plans for the future, the future that if Zodiark had escaped, what they would need. Basically, Hydaelyn had this whole plan to basically protect us at all costs, and I thought that was incredible. I thought, the foresight of Hydaelyn, and the Watcher was there to kind of help guide us and give us the information we needed, right? And that information, a lot of that led to a lot more questions. What was the Watcher still doing there? Like, what is his task? And the Watcher just basically was a chronologiker. Basically, he just took time and note of everything that Zodiark did, right? He basically just said, hey, Zodiark is asleep. Zodiark is getting more powerful. Whatever it may be. And that kind of just revealed that, like, this has been a long time trap. Like, they have been working on this for a long time. And as time goes on the moon, you meet the Loprits, the little bunnies, literally the most wholesome part of the game. I think this was like their reprieve before we started to grieve. Just right. I mean, if anybody has finished the story, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because as soon as we got off the moon feels like this randomness that's just like, we get a little break and don't have to worry about it as much. And the Loprits are funny, they're kind. The Loprits really they're again one of Hydaelyn's creations in order to maintain the lives on what is our planet called? Aetheris is the name of our planet. She basically made the moon as an escape in case anything ever happened to Aetheris, to save as many lives as they could and move them to the moon. And so when we meet the Loprits, they're like very, very happy, and they're like boasting about how much they've done and how they work with people from Aetheris to really capture the essence that they need. And that's when it gets revealed, who are you working with? Lo and behold, our favorite group of people that have been thwarting us all along. Not Xenos and Fandango, but the Charlayan Council had been keeping a very, very deep secret, and it was only entrusted to them by Hydaelyn herself. So again, I'm not going to get too deep into that. I will let you kind of discover that and see why it was kept secret yourself. But the Loprits really had planned for preservation rather than enjoyment and comfortability. They didn't really think too much about what it is to live. And so our characters, the Scions, came kind of disappointed And they were just like, yeah, this isn't really going to cut it if you're thinking about living here. There's so much more. And the Loporrits kind of were just like, well, we feel like we failed. And that's when it springs Urianger to kind of step up in his role, in his capacity and grow as a character. You know, in Garlemald, we see the twins grow, noticing that they can't always save everybody and they can't always feel like they're entitled to a reasoning. And then on the moon, Urianger really kind of grows up and realizes that, you know, his line of thinking might be more suited for, you know, really like boosting the people around him. His ideals and his way of thinking is very like straightforward and saying, will this help or will this hinder? He's very straightforward with that. And then on top of that, I think once we see those characters start to grow and become more independent for themselves, you start to kind of feel where Endwalker is going. We come back from the moon, and people have been tended to, and the towers are starting to come down, and you think we're on the up and up. Things are doing well. People are living, people are surviving, and we return, we rest, and then we get news that no, we come back, we return, we rest, and then we kind of think about things that we need to do. And an idea comes out. No. We return to Thavnir. I'm getting two parts mixed up. Is it Elpis or Thavnir first? I think we return to Thavnir. Yes, yeah. So we come back to Thavnir, and in Thavnir, we start noticing widespread panic. Things are not going well. The final days, and this is the part I kind of missed on the moon, Zodiark broke out, and Fandaniel revealed his grand plan all along was for us to kill Zodiark. Because once Zodiark was freed from his prison, freed from his existence, so did all of the things that he governed over as structure. Because again, the ancients summoned Zodiark in order to save their world or forestall the final days. And they were successful in that, right? They were successful with Zodiark. That being said, Zodiark held certain traits that were not desirable. Hence why Hydaelyn was erected as a deity. And in order to continue to forestall those final days, we needed Hydaelyn to seal Zodiark somewhere, so that his power still, what he presided over still remained, that structure. And we later find out that Hydaelyn's what her domain is, a domain of stasis, right? She preserves stasis and structure. And so once Zodiark was gone, Fandaniel reveals his plan was he kills himself essentially in order to finalize his plans. And getting rid of Zodiark was that plan, in order to bring the final days to pass. And so we encounter the final days. Thavnir is thrown into ruin, skies darken, widespread chaos. We go there to only realize that alone we can't fix this. We see Grahatia finally step up and start assuming the role that he had as Exarch, a leader, We kind of figure out how to combat it for now. Trying to keep people calm. We see character growth. It's just Grahatia there. And then we head over and try to help. We find out some stuff from Charlian. They kind of reveal their secrets. And that kind of prompts us to go and help other realms. Garlemald, again, helping them out a little bit. And then eventually making the decision to go back to the first. Right? To go back and see how they were doing mostly. But also, Graha mentions that there is a way to communicate with an ancient that still exists, right? Because Fandaniel was gone, Emmett's gone, all of these ancients are gone. Xenos is not going to offer up any information, so we're just like, okay, well, what do we need to do? So we end up going over to the first and meeting with God, what is his name? Elidibus. We end up meeting with a shadow of Elidibus. And he kind of reveals that there was something that was different. And it was basically due to our intervention. And he sends us back in time to Elpis. Elpis being the ancients, people like Emmett, all of them, they're basic like Eden, essentially. It's their Eden. They use creation magic. They're far more powerful than us with Aether usage. So we get to meet them. We meet a bunch of young, not Asians, because at the time they weren't Asians. They were ancients. We get the chance to meet them and experience what they experienced. In pursuit of power and in pursuit of knowledge, and that springs forward Medion, and reveals how tragic Medion's story was, going from one of hope to absolute crushing despair, and the plot that she has put in place based off of her own feelings that we can't reach, that she doesn't know if we can reach. And Elpis was a really great kind of break into like what truly is happening. We understand the final days now. We come back, we try to get everybody loaded up, and then basically make the decision to travel and try to convince to stop Medion and try to bring her back to senses. And the end of the story just kind of really hits hard, because it's just like you've gone all this time learning about the final days, and you finally know, and you're really truly at the end. You're truly at the final days, and you have to bring all your courage, all your wisdom to pass. I'm not going to get into what the reason why we could make this journey, as it involves a very special character, and that through that experience, which was, oh my gosh, I was crying when that happened. Through that experience, gave us, as the warrior of light, the champion of light, the bastion of hope, the presider of joy, gives us the encouragement that we can do this together. And so as the Scions set out to bring Medion, basically bring Medion down, and we get there to Null, and immediately Medion is like, what you doing here, and starts taking out people. Like, I was like, bro, this is not gonna happen. And I started like I think as soon as we got off the ship, I was just like, oh, I just sighed because I knew what was coming. And you go through, and every character develops, and the hardships, the struggles you go through. You go from, and it really brings you back to the main story, right? You start this journey alone as an adventurer, just hopeful. You meet people along the way, you meet the Scions, and then again, now you're back to being an alone person through the hardships that they had to endure out there, and the understanding that even though that you're alone, have hope. Stand against the dark feelings that you have, and really try to be the best you that you can be. And I remember, I mean, some people saw I literally was just bawling the entire time I was on the last little section of the game. And I just can't thank Yoshi P and his team and the narrative team for delivering such an awesome experience. I mean, from every moment, especially towards the end, it's just like the music, the writing, the experiences that you experience all the way through A Realm Reborn that reflect even up into Endwalker, that pull you back. And I think that was an important key to it. It's like every bit of the way, they bring in characters from the past and remind you of why you're fighting and why you got into adventuring and why you continue to adventure. And it just was like such a good reminder to why all of us chose to continue to play this game, chose to re-pick up this game, chose to come back, chose to make the friends that we've made, and do the things that we've done on this game. And so I just thought it was a really great nod to that. And I'm leaving out a lot of the ending because I want people to experience that for themselves. But overall, like, there is no number that this story deserves other than a 10. There was no point at which the story was subpar. There's no point at which the story was even remotely weak. There were times where it was slower than probably a lot of people expected, but it was all build up for what was coming next. They wanted you to be emotionally ready for whatever came and have solid character development throughout the entirety of the Scions. And I just thought it was really well done. I think that we finally started to see who each individual was, how powerful that they could be individually, how powerful that they could be together. And I just think it just delivered a fantastic message. I think this was a love letter to fans 100%. From the music to the characters that were brought back into the story, even to the primals, like the primals that aided us. It just felt like it was completing a journey that we've been on, and completing it in such a way that we finished this chapter, but there's still much work to be done in result of our success. Because we were successful here, what other eyes have now looked at us in curiosity, right? So yeah, that's kind of just my little, like, it's my thing. I mean, I wanted to get on and talk about it because I'd been sitting on it for a while, and I've talked to other people kind of like a little bit about it, but I really just want to say that Endwalker as a whole is probably one of the best expansions of any game that I've ever played. And not only just an expansion, this truly could have been a standalone story. It just did everything that it needed to correctly. So yeah, I wanted to bring that out, and yeah. So. Thought the Garleans were just physically. No, they can. Physically, yeah. Sorry, yeah. Physically, the Garleans cannot channel Aether, but they're able to use other like machines, like the Magitech armors and stuff like that, to channel that Aether into. I believe that's what it was. Or else they can't channel Aether and they use machines to hold Aether for them, or Aether for them. Sorry, not Aether. But yeah, so that's my lengthy explanation of Endwalker and how it's led up, and my overall feelings of the stories thus far, and just again really thankful for the team to have given such a stamp of fan endearment. So yeah. Let's see. And now we just wait for cues. Pain. Ooh. I guess while we wait for cues, I can run over to Ilpus. But I'm almost done with this leveling. I just got to do the role quest after. Or is Elpis isn't Charlian housing win? I honestly, I don't even want Ishgard housing. I want the Charlian housing now. I think the Charlian housing. Honestly, no, not Charlian. I want Elpis housing. Yo, but I mean, even Moon. Literally every housing is more appealing than Ishgardian housing now. I'm not even gonna lie. But I wonder, because we still got like the Animal Crossing version of the game coming. I wonder if it makes me wonder if Elpis is going to be the design for that, because it really fits, because it's a creation magic thing, right? There's not going to be auto clicker bots anymore. There can't be because of the lottery system. Trying to get Ishgard housing purely to trade into literally anywhere else that I said is not my shit. Yeah. They made a lot of changes to housing and how to achieve it. But yeah, there's not going to be auto clicking bots because it's literally a lotto. You put in, and if you aren't there to receive it, then you lose your money. Yeah. How are you guys feeling about the classes? What in the hell is my look? This shit is flying. Monk obviously really strong right now. Please tell me the lottery said yeah, it applies to all housing. Going forward, it applies to every single housing unit. And basically what's going to happen is those people that are currently at other housing that just plan to move their house to Ishgard and claim plots before anybody else could are not going to be able to do that. I would definitely read up on it. There were a lot of really, really good changes coming to housing. Oh, you're in fine. They put out a whole article about it. Oh, you know what? They didn't put out an article about it. It was one of the not an article. It was one of the live dev session ones. The live letters. I think we've only seen one ninja since same. I kind of want to play ninja to kind of see and feel kind of why that is. I think what a lot of it boils down to is a lot of people were waiting for Reaper, so we'll probably see that balance out as time goes on, and as Reaper probably receives nerfs. Just being completely honest, I should not be able to just do this much damage by pressing buttons. A lot of their rotation does not rely on positionals, and so like it feels like really I mean, like the only positionals that I have can be True North. My main rotation doesn't have a positional, and then these don't have positionals either. So your highest damage things don't have positionals at all, so you could just be anywhere. So like it just feels very very free damage, and so I have a feeling that the potency on things will get nerfed a little bit. To kind of bring it more in line with some of the other DPS. But right now, Monk is up there. So I think Reaper and Monk are the preferred melees currently, for sure. Again, I haven't really seen a lot of ninjas to really kind of compare or kind of notice that shift in ninja. I'd love to probably be able to play a little bit of it just to kind of see what feels different. But yeah, sorry, the live letter has the lottery stuff for sure. I know that. But yeah, Monk's definitely up there. I've had a lot of, like, every time I have a Monk in my party, I have a lot of success rates, to be honest. And I think that's just proof that it's definitely up there in terms of a class. Bruh, How are you gonna be a legend and not pull full? Did you just get carried for your legend title? Okay, I was about to say. I love how he moves as soon as I pop my damage buff. So like all of this damage is all for naught. That fucking sucks. That was my whole damage buff, just moving. Like I said, Reaper's gonna probably receive at least potency nerf. I haven't seen enough Sams to really judge, but Sams probably have come down from their throne. But they're still very favorable. But they've come down from their throne because they don't really have a lot of teamwork, quote unquote. Yeah, I've been really feeling it. I think that's the thing with a lot of main monks, because it feels like the job has changed a little bit from what you guys are probably used to. That's what I've been hearing, is like a lot of it feels like really dumbed down. A lot of it feels really casual for monk players who were already executing at like the highest level for DPS because you had no choice. So I'm getting that from a lot of monk mains that I've been hearing. Monk mains pre-Shadowbringers. Because even in Shadowbringers, it was dumbed down as well. So yeah, I'm getting out a lot from people that main monk before. People that are coming into monk have been saying it feels really good, because again, now you've dumbed down the class to a point where it's almost brain dead to play for a lot of people. I feel like even I could sit there and play monk at a reasonably high level in comparison to most people, just because it's like I understand how to play the game. And I literally be sitting there playing monk and just pressing buttons with efficiency. That's the difference. Yo, what's up, Blackjack? How you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. I saw your thing, Blackjack, in what's it called, in the Destiny Discord. Looks really fantastic, Blackjack. I'm excited to see where you go with that. It's not getting. I literally give it. I'm just annoyed today. Oh, people. So far, should be that way, right? No. Wait, they dumbed it down? Yes, it is. It is very dumbed down. In Endwalker, very dumbed down. I mean, positionals are almost not even a thing. And it still feels like some skills you don't even have to use. I will say this, like from what I've seen on videos, it looks like it feels good to play. I'll be honest, it looks like it feels good to play from a new player expectation, but old vets of monk are really not enjoying it, and so they're trying out other other melee DPS classes. I haven't seen a lot of Dragoons, but I'm pretty sure Dragoon is going to be up there in terms of execution. Talking about ranged, Bard. I've heard a lot of complaints about Bard. I was really excited with the Bard changes, but again, a lot of the old Bard mains are not necessarily happy with those changes. They said some of the songs feel like their main song with the Mage's Ballad should be the big thing, but it feels like the in-between ballad is doing more than all of their other ballads, which is disheartening to hear, because I thought Bard was going to really be shining this time around, but it's still too early to say. I think a lot of people are still working it out, so it's still very too early to say. Bard is still in that shit class. Machinists, I haven't seen a lot of. I've heard that their damage numbers are pretty good across the board, but again, you probably won't see a lot of machinists because they don't bring so much utility to a party. You'll probably see them like pretty exclusively on people that specialize in ranged, physical ranged. So that's the only I think that's the only time you'll probably see them for sure. Let me see, Dancer. I haven't seen a lot of Dancer, but it feels like Dancer's kind of fallen off the top end of things. I feel like they buffed a lot of their AoE and overall hit to help the team, but it still feels like it's still feels like they kind of got shafted in the damage department. What else we got? I think that's all the physical range. Mages, I haven't really gotten a chance to look into. I do know Black Mage has fallen. And that's a result of the stat squish. Red Mages are looking really good. Summoners, again, a lot of summoners have been complaining because it feels very easy. They basically dumbed down the class for anybody to play it. You don't gotta worry about a lot when you're playing summoner now. You just press the buttons in the order that the doctor has prescribed, and you will basically be doing the right thing. So that's honestly kind of good, because I feel like Scholar was one of the very few classes that was too complex for a lot of new players. But I think now it's in a good spot where, you know, as a caster who's already got to worry about, do I move, do I not move, you actually have that flexibility to say, yes, I move, which you didn't before. I think the summoner ones were warranted. Summoner was a very, very difficult class, all around. Like, it was very, very difficult in order to play it, to understand it. Like, there was almost no need for it to be that difficult. And it really favored those people that had been playing summoner for a very long time, in order for them to only be able to play it. I think the changes to the summons really actually is cool. I enjoy seeing all the primals being summoned. From time to time, it's kind of scary, because I'll be like sitting there like, oh my god, why is Titan popping up on the map? And I think it's like a mechanic as a tank. But yeah, other than that, I think the changes overall really are fun. And show like a way for them to design a class and make it fun while also making it user friendly. I think later down the road, you know, you will get a lot of people that, you know, kind of speak towards that speak towards the issues of, hey, this is too easy. But for the most part, I think that they did the right thing for now. They had a class that was too difficult for everybody to play, so they made it playable by anyone. And now it's gonna come down to execution when it comes down to trials and stuff like that. Damn it. Yeah, the primal summon thing is pretty cool. I was really excited. Like, I even wanted to play it. But again, I really didn't enjoy Summoner or Scholars. So I probably still will not play it off principle. I only played Scholar to get Summoner to the next level. But yeah, so yeah, that's Summoner. I'm curious to see how many Summoner mains come out of this, but I'm also curious to see the high level of execution of Summoners, because again, right now, anything anyone says about like characters and like, oh, this is OP, this is too easy, or this is too hard, it's not gonna make a lot of sense, right? You got to think about it in terms of longevity. There's going to be raids that come out that are going to be really hard and have execution things are very, very scripted. But when it comes to raids, like you're going to have a harder time. When it comes to ultimates, you're going to have a harder time, and you're going to start to see those characters that or those players that stand out in that class in a different way. I do think the removal of dots was a little weird, especially since they gave Sage so many like heal over time dots things. Like, it just felt really weird. I think dots are great, but I think what's happening is they remove snapshot dots. I'm pretty sure they removed snapshot dotting. So that's dotting before the boss leaves so that it continues to tick, right? Which, you know, that's why you want a summoner. You want it to be ticking down for free. But I'm pretty sure that doesn't work anymore, really, because I have not seen boss's health really moved out that much. Granted, they're with like smaller dots. I think the number is too small to really like make the difference. And they wanted people to focus more on the summon your primals, summon, not dot. They would have made a warlock class if they wanted to be about dots. I guess moving on to the healing classes. White Mage feels like White Mage. I don't think it's changed. I think White Mage is the most consistent from expansion to expansion, except for Stormblood. We won't talk about White Mage and Stormblood. That was a nightmare. But it's fairly consistent. It's, hey, can I do damage? If the answer is yes, I do damage. Is someone 1% health? If yes, then I'll heal. I don't think that's changed almost at all. White mages don't heal, and thus people die. But they do damage. I've seen some really impressive white mages and how they choose to heal. So I think they got a lot of cool skills, and I think they got a lot of cool updates. But yeah, overall, don't expect a white mage to heal you. They do more damage than most DPS. in the long run. White Mage, Astro. Oh my gosh, I love Astro right now. Because their star is literally this entire arena would be their star. It's like it's just such a like now it's so focused on like really thinking ahead. Again, it was already about that, but really thinking ahead and deploying your skills when necessary. I think they got really good quality of life. I'm still a little sad to see Nocturnal Set go. I think it gave them the flexibility to be that in between. But that's okay.
Ancient breath, unleash your power. Dancing winds, pierce my foes. Stars on high.
What else do we got?
War is rage.
So we talked about Sage. I truly think Sage is the most powerful healer in the game. By far. And I think in the right hands, again, this comes in player skill. You see it with Sage, actually. A good Sage player really has great command of the fight. Because again, Sage is one of those, like, you got to kind of prep and not necessarily be reactionary, but have a good game plan going into some of the fights. Otherwise, you're gonna kind of be spamming buttons, running out of mana a lot. But I think it truly is one of the strong. I'm not even saying it truly. Like, I know it is one of the strongest healers in the game right now. Just from playing it myself. My Sage is level 90 already, and I can tell you right now, that shit is very strong. Oh shit, I moved too fast. All right.
Dancing winds, pierce my foes. Even when transformed, I am not finished yet.
Oh.
Stars on high, fall is rain.
I'm too lazy to press more buttons. Die. Wait, I already got Wormy, right? Should I go for another Wormy? Shit, I don't know. Okay. I was gonna sell it. Okay. Summons way easier. Closest thing. Let's do on summons when you might want to use specific summons. Yeah. was actually using summon a lot before this, especially in dungeons, giving mobs cooties left and right. Yeah. You might like Sage. I multi-dot on Sage a lot. I think having the of the TTC for Glare was punishing them using all their mana. Yep. Still want to learn healing class, but damn, it feels like daunting now that the level cap is 90. Yeah. Yeah, there's a minion in it. I got it on the last one. Yo. So I'm gonna make it a short stream today, guys. How long have I actually been streaming? I need to know. And the only reason is because I want to watch Geronimo play. I've only been streaming for 2 hours, but I wanted to keep this short anyway because I wanted to get my thoughts out about Endwalker. But going forward from here, there won't be any spoilers. This is kind of just to really set the stage, but there won't be any heavy spoilers that I'm going to be talking about. I'm just going to be playing the game. I really like this set, by the way. I'm really just going to be playing the game and grinding out and doing my end game stuff, and we're just going to be enjoying together. And you know, I mean, that's it. So I'll be playing more Final Fantasy 14. I'll be doing more streams. I'll be doing more raids. Hopefully when Ultimates unlock, I'll try to find a group for that and get going on those. But I appreciate you guys hanging out for a little bit and kind of hearing me rant about things. Quick before we leave, I know you guys probably want to hear my thoughts on tanks. Because you guys, I think a lot of people come to me for tanks. Let's talk about that just real quick. And I'll go into detail more on the next stream. Paladin, one of the things that I noticed was actually Confidier has now a chain, right? And at the end of the chain, it applies a dot. That dot actually conflicts with Goring Blade. So these two change off at each use. So what I mean is do the combo for Goring Blade. Okay, cool. And I gotta hit another mob to do this. And you guys all know the big swords that drop down, right? Blah, blah, blah. So watch this Goring Blade stack. They just trade off. And so I noticed that if you have a certain amount of skill speed, it trades off at 1. So that's kind of, you're really like working with numbers with tanks right now. So for Paladin specifically, I think that Paladin overall has got such quality from their skills. They are literally being able to heal whenever I use Holy Spirit and Holy Circle. I'm able to heal when I use Holy Sheltron. So this is a heal. And it applies blocking incoming damage, regenerating health over time. And then I believe, hold on. There's one more. It lasts for 6 seconds now. Oh, I wish I had... there's one other buff that I get from Holy Sheltron. Yep. Knight's Benediction reduces damage taken by 15%. So not only blocking physical attacks, I'm also getting another 15% reduction. So Sheltron now becomes like a really good, make sure you use it at the right times. So you're going to be getting that healing from Sheltron, Holy Spirit, Holy Circle, and then also for other people, Divine Shield now also does a cure of 400. So you want to really use Divine Veil, not only for the shield, not only for the damage mitigation of 10%, but you're also going to be wanting to be using this for a heal after big AoE damage from a boss. So that is what that is kind of the big changes that have come. This also now gets a heal on it, intervention, so I'm using this a lot more. It also already reduces, but it has like a overtime cure. So I use this on tanks that are taking tank busters. I think overall Paladins are now probably the ultimate off tank, but now also can do a lot of main tanking themselves because they have so many heals. They can keep themselves pretty well topped off. Clemency still being such a monster of a heal too. And those are the big changes for Paladin. I think now Paladin has pretty static rotations. You've got your melee rotation, and then you immediately go into this rotation, and they line up pretty well. So because now this rotation takes about 60 seconds, literally every 60 seconds you're going to get your fight or flight back, and then you're going to be able to go into your melee rotation. This comes up every 30 seconds, so you just do these as off GCDs, Circle of Scorn and Expression. Circle of Scorn also is its own independent dot, so this can be used with Goring Blade or the last blade of your Confiteor rotation. Thing to note across all tanks is melee mastery comes into play. It just increases the potency of your main rotation. I think this is just across the board that they decided to do this. I haven't finished up Warrior, I haven't finished up Dark Knight, and I haven't finished up Gunbreaker. But from what I've seen, Dark Knight is probably the one that's struggling the most in terms of being able to be alive longest. When it comes to rating, they don't feel as special as they used to. With TBN. TBN used to be their shining star, and now we have things like Paladin that can live just by healing off damage. So you lose kind of your special feeling for Dark Knight. So I think Dark Knight is probably going to get a few reworks, or not reworks, but just a few tweaks in potency to kind of keep up with the other tanks. I would say Dark Knight's probably the lowest tier right now. Next up, I would say that Gunbreaker. I think Gunbreaker got a little bit too much. I don't want to say a little bit too much, because they did reduce the actions in order to do your rotation. But I think what I've been seeing from Gunbreaker is they're so focused on making sure they get all of their off GCDs woven in that they're missing or dropping it. So it's very heavy execution rate, and so a lot of tanks are failing. Their survivability has gone up a little bit, even more than Dark Knight almost. But I would say I want to see Gunbreaker even out as time goes on, as people kind of work their stats a little bit, and as people get better at executing the rotation. I probably will be working on Gunbreaker next, because I really want to hone in on what it takes to kind of master that. Warrior is a monster. Literally the highest healing class. I would probably say, if anything, Paladin and Warrior are probably tied for top right now. In terms of usability and in damage, I think Warrior has the cake on damage, but in terms of survivability, they're probably about on par. I would say Warrior's healing is probably the highest healing in the game, even more than a healer in burst. So take that what you will. You're going to see a lot more Warriors in parties. You're going to see a lot more Warriors. So yeah, those I think Warriors is again, Pally. If I had to choose, I would probably put Warrior ahead of Pally, but just barely. So I'll put Warrior top, Paladin second, Gunbreaker, and then heading into Dark Knight by a pretty steep difference from Gunbreaker. So Dark Knights, sorry, you kind of got shafted this time around, but you've been strong since Stormblood. So I'm sure numbers will kind of get tweaked a little bit to kind of bring them back up just a little bit closer. But don't think too much on that. Yeah. Oh, and then the last thing for healers, Scholar got that speed buff, and I am letting you know right now. I was playing with Era the other day. That speed buff is insane. I think that every raid will have a Scholar, or want to have a Scholar. it is saving lives, and I'm not kidding you. It lasts for a long time, and it just you just go. So that's all I'm gonna say for it now. As time goes on, we'll kind of develop more ideas. As I play more classes, we'll develop more ideas, and I'll be able to speak to them more. But yeah, for now, the big focus is gonna be on getting my mentor status. So I'll probably finish that out today while I watch Jay, and then we'll jump into Gunbreaker, and then we'll jump into from Gunbreaker. We'll probably jump into. I don't want to do all the tanks in a row, so I'll probably jump into another healer, or a ranged DPS. I might do Bard. I might do Bard to kind of be able to speak to that. So, you guys will see me do a bunch of stuff, and we'll do some more fun stuff and get people in once the queues kind of die down, and we'll play together. Hopefully, with world travel coming and stuff like that. So again, I just want to thank you guys. I'll have my VTuber model back up tomorrow. I just kind of was like, I just wanted it to be a pretty raw session where I could talk about Endwalker and the story thus far. And so we will get back to it and get back to our grind. I want to say tomorrow. Work's been kind of beating me down a little bit, so I will kind of defer to, if not tomorrow, it'll be Thursday. So keep an eye out. I'm gonna go over watch Jay on Twitch. Geronimo Sauce, if you guys don't know. And I will see you guys over there. Until next time, guys. You guys stay safe. Be blessed. Bye. Oh, Blackjack. Yes, I am. I just got one more class. My Reaper. Okay, guys.